Hey, namaste guys, Master Praveen, and I hope and wish that you all are doing great, and especially you are doing your yoga practice every day. So today I am here to talk about and give you the explanation and give you the information about the Surya Namaskara. So first we will be understand like what does mean by Surya Namaskara. Surya Namaskara is a Hindi word. It's come from the India. Surya means the sun, and the Namaskara means you can say Namaskara means a Namaste, Namaskara you can say the salutation. In English we say the sun salutation. This is the Indian traditional style that how we are showing our respect to the Surya Bhagwan. So in the sun salutation, you all know if you are doing the yoga quite a long time, so you know sun salutation is a very common practice, and it's a very common series in the yoga. You practice any kind of the yoga class, you go for the gentle class, you go for the intermediate class, you go for the advanced level class. Each and every class you can find a sun salutation. Yes, this is true that there are so many different series in the sun salutation, different styles in the sun salutations, different modifications are there in the sun salutation. But basically if you talk about the traditional style in the sun salutation, in the Surya Namaskara, there are major 12 poses in the Surya Namaskara, or means 12 steps in the sun salutation. Each and every pose has a different name. And why there are the 12 steps, what is the logic behind it? We can say there are the 12 way to showing our respect. There are 12 way to salute to the God Sun. In Indian culture, we are indicate the sun as a god. This is really I love this thing very much. As India, I really feel proud to be an Indian. That in Indian style we are giving the respect to everything, especially to the nature, like the water, the moon, the sun, the earth. Everything we are giving so much respect about it. So the same like a sun. So sun salutation, the another benefit about the sun salutation is a complete body workout. The person is a beginner, the person is somebody is a yoga practitioner, they do not have enough time, and they cannot go for the yoga classes and that. So even if you practice the sun salutation, so you can have a whole body workout. Means your whole body can be engaged with the sun salutation. Your all kind of the form can be practices in the sun salutation. Like it can be for your hip, your leg, your internal organs, your liver, your heart, your blood circulation. It's good for the your whole body workout is there. But one thing is very important about the sun salutation. Like first we should know about the all poses, and the second like how you have to be perform all these poses. Even we are practicing sun salutation quite a long time. Even somebody practice 1 year, 5 year, even 10 year, but still there are some very common and there are some very major mistake in the sun salutation. So today I am here to explain. I will try my best to explain each and everything about the sun salutation in the Surya Namaskara. So I will go one by one. Firstly, I will show you one by one posture, and after that I will combine all the posture with the breathing technique, and then I'll be practice in the one flow. So my request and my suggestion to you, you please keep your notebook with you right now, or you just be ready with me to practice the Surya Namaskara. First round when I will explain, you just try to be understand first, like how your body position, your body movement, your muscle movement. Then you can be later on when we will practice in the flow, then you can be practice with me. Okay, so first, as I told you before, that there are the 12 main poses in the sun salutation. Another one thing more, like 12 poses, and even might be you heard about the Surya mantra. So all the 12 poses has a different mantras. So different mantras is means Surya or the sun has a different 12 names in our Indian culture. Okay, so now I'll come back about the postures. So the first posture in the Surya Namaskara, we say the Pranam Mudra, or we can say the Namaste Mudra. So you should know maybe you think this is nothing, just only Namastin, but no, you have to also understand about the exact pranam mudra. How? You have to bring your palm together. Your all fingers should be together, the finger to finger and thumb to thumb, and the palm should be in between the chest. Shoulder should be relaxed. Do not squeeze the shoulder. Shoulder should be relaxed and shoulder should be open. Another thing about the hip position, your hip. This is also the one common mistake we are doing it even when we are standing. So when you stand, even normal standing position or even any another posture, or we are talking about the pranam mudra, your hip should be in the neutral position. Not be here. That can be a wrong position. Please remember it. So your hip should be in the front, neutral position. You have to be tucking your pelvic and engage your core and then maintain this position. Shoulder should be relaxed, neck should be relaxed, and you can be gazing front side, you can be look front side. This is the upper body position. Your spine position you know, core position you know, hip position you know. Now the leg position. About the leg position, there are some confusion. Some teachers they say there should be a gap should be there. Some teachers say they feet should be together, but from my side both are okay. You can keep feet together, it's fine. You can give a little gap, that's fine. But my suggestion for especially if you are a beginner, so better you can have a little gap in between your feet. Later on I will explain you that what is the difference in between feet together and with a gap. The effect will be changed in your muscle. So you can have a little gap in between the feet, hip push in front, and then just simply palm together. So this posture name is, we say, pranam mudra, or we can say namaskara mudra. So this is the first portion. A very good effect in the body. This give the balance and this give the stability in our body. So this is the first. So one by one I will be explaining first. The second practice is, we say, the Ardha Chakrasana, you can be say, means the body arch back. That is belong to the back bending. First, let me explain the posture by posture. Later I will be explain about the breathing technique. Once you finish the pranam mudra, the hip position will be remain same, and from here you have to be lift your arms up, and from here you have to be arch back, means the bend back. Now we have to be know on which level you have to be bent back. Second question, what about the position of your arms? It should be the gap or it should be together. If you think about the together, so how? Your palm should be together, it should be finger lock or not. So what is the position? But I say once again, that is also depends on you. If you are a beginner, so better you can make a finger lock. Because when you make a finger lock, it will give you the spot to holding the posture. Because when you come in the Ardha Chandra Asana, you need enough strength to control your posture. Of course, you need enough flexibility also. Okay, I'll show you about the level of the back bending. That is also depend on person to person. That is also depend on student to student. If somebody have enough flexibility, so they can be down more. Somebody have a little, so they can be up more. So all things depend on you. So during this practice, during my second post explanation, I will hold myself on the different level. Might be I cannot speak during that posture. So you will understand. I will give a little 1 or 2 second hold on each level. It means these are the level during the posture. So from pranam mudra, hands up. Another thing, your head. Try to be should in between your both arms, so that your ear can be touch your head. Why? So that you can be taking your neck easily. Otherwise, most of the time we are practicing like that. It is means the sinking of the neck. This is not good for your neck and not good for your shoulder. So please take care. So hands up. You can be finger lock. Hip push in front. Lift up the spine with a breathing inhale. Good. Also lift up, extend your rib cage, and with the exhalation, just try. These are the level. You're a beginner, you can be do here. More flexibility. inhale, then come back, and exhale, then relax. So you understand that I take my body on the first just a little. If you have a more flexibility, you can be down more. You have a more flexibility, you can be down more. So it doesn't mean that you have to be flat in the posture. No, I'm not saying that. Slowly when you practice on the regular basis, your flexibility will be increased and your strength will be increased. Then you can be down more and more deep in the back bending, but not in a one day. Another thing you already understand about the leg position, the same. You can keep feet together, it's fine. Little gap will be fine. For the beginner, my recommendation, the gap should be there. Easier for you. वो थोड़ा आसान रहेगा आपके लिए. Hip समझ में आ गया. Spine is fine. और आपको stomach, you have to be also engage your stomach. Stomach को ऐसे lose नहीं छोड़ना है. Do not lose the stomach. It should be in, engage it, contract the core, lift up, inhale, and exhale, then bend back. Finger lock, that's fine. Open arms, that's fine. So means both position is okay. But remember, when you open the arms, so sometimes maybe if you are a beginner, so cannot be controlled. Sometimes your hand, one hand is up, one hand is up. It is difficult. So better initial level, beginner level, when you are practicing, so please practice palm together. You can bring the palm together. It's fine. If you cannot, you can give a gap. Because it will be work on your arms, it will work on your shoulder, it will work in your whole spine flexibility, and it will be also work on your hip strength. So that is the second pose which I explained. After that we will go from second, then we will come in the third. We finish here. You have to come back with the inhalation. Breathing technique later I will explain completely. Exhalation, that is we say the Padhasta Asana, means head to knee pose or head to feet pose. So in this practice, you all know this is the forward bending posture. So first thing I will go step by step. First I will be explain the lower body part. In lower body, your leg should be straight. No bend should be there, and you have to be also lock your knee. Lock your knee doesn't mean that you have to be push your knee too much backside. Do not give the hyper extension on the knee. What we are doing, sometimes we are doing mistake, we are going down, but we are pushing the knee so much back. So might be you are feeling so much pain back of your knee. So why we are feeling it? Because you are giving so much extension in the knee. So please avoid it. Even in Padhastasana or even in any kind of the forward bending posture, you have to be taking care very good. So your leg should be straight. You have to lock the knee. Little push the hip out, then your stomach should be in. You have to be lengthen the spine, and then as per your flexibility, you have to be go down. Even you can be touch with a fingertip. You can hold the big toe. You can hold the ankle. You can place the palm side of your feet, or even you can try to touch the legs. If you cannot do all these modifications, you can simply palm on the knee, then you can be try. But any option you choose, you can see I'm keep maintaining my spine straight. That is very important. The posture I'm explaining in the sun salutation, this explanation and information also will be helpful for you in your another practice. So I hope you understand about the forward fold position, Padhastasana. This practice is good to increase the flexibility in your hamstring. This is good to stimulate your internal organs, and this is good for lengthening your spine. Got it? Okay. So from here, after Padhastasana, then we will become the next. You have to be bend a leg a bit, and I will do it from the right leg side. I am putting my right leg back, and then left leg in between your arms. This posture we say the Ashwa Sanchalan pose, or we can also say this is the one variation from the half lunge also you can see. So what you have to do, first I will explain the front leg position, then I will be explain the back leg position. The front leg, like I am using my left leg, first you need to be know front leg, your knee and ankle should be aligned. Please watch carefully, it's very important. Sometimes I watch some of my students, they are practicing like here. No, they are practicing like here. No, if you're practicing here means you are leaning your knee too much on the front side. It can be harmful for your knee if you practice in the long time. So maintain the foot should be in between your both arms. This is the first thing. Second thing, the knee, it's not with the left side and it's not with the right side. You have to maintain exact straight, knee ankle straight. So here it will be effect to your left hamstring inside. Okay. Second thing, when you practice it, so your heel, your left leg heel, most of the time what we are doing mistake, you see me here. What you're doing the mistake, you hold the body weight you are putting on your left outer heel. Wrong. You are putting the left heel weight on the outer heel, so you cannot be engage your thigh. So what you have to do, once you come in the position, you have to keep the knee a bit inside and transferring the weight from, use your mind, transferring the weight also in your inner heel. You feel the difference. If you can do right now with me and feel the difference. First you weight on the outer heel and then weight on the inner heel. When you come on the inner heel, hold for a 3 even 5 seconds and feel the difference, and then put your comment under this video. And second thing, arms position, you can hold, so you can be pushing the palm. Feeling difficult, you can use arch of the fingertip so that you can get some height. Even for the beginner member, they think, oh my god, that is very difficult, hoi nahi pa raha. So don't worry. This is what I am trying, that you all can get benefit with the sun salutation. It's a beautiful series, it's a beautiful things which is given by our Sant Mahamunis in India. So you can use the block like here, easier. Here you can use, here you can use, or even here you can be used. I'm trying so that everybody, each and any kind of person, any level of the practitioner, they can enjoy this practice. Or even if you are a yoga teacher, so you also should know all these modifications so that you can give awareness to your student also. So this is the one thing. Front leg is okay, foot is okay, and your heel is okay. Arm should be straight. Try to, elbow position, try to be facing inside. Not be here. Try to be inside, because it will be affect your shoulder movement also. Not be here, not be sink. It should be here. Neck, shoulder, you can feel the difference. 1 second, shoulder should be away from the ear. So now you understand front leg position. Now I will explain the back leg position. जो पीछे की जो leg है, like I'm using my right leg. So ये भी, there is some confusion here. Might be some practice you can see right leg straight. Some practice you can see a little gap, little bend right knee. Some practice might be see dropping the knee and foot out. So then your question will be here, sir, which position is the right? But I say all modifications is right. There is no problem at all. You try with all 3 modifications and feel the difference. Only a little effect will be changed during this all modification. This is fine, little intense, little easier, and then it will be more easy when you're dropping the knee. Any position you choose, it will be give effect to your right inner thigh. Very nice stretch. If you are looking, you want to go for the hamstring flexibility, you are thinking for the hip flexibility, so this can be very good practice for you. Foot should be out, is okay. Toes inside also should be okay. So this is the position here. And the stomach, do not lose. You have to be suck it and be stay. That's it. No need to be look up. You can be just look front a little bit, look up. Not very much. Mainly you're lengthening the neck and just stay. Arms you already know. So this is we done. The fourth position. And from here, I will take you in the plank position. Plank position also very important. And one of the very nice pose for increase the strength. And so from here, this is we say the plank position. If I teach plank position, you know, I can teach even for the 1 hour for the plank pose. But here I will give a bit short detail just for the understanding only. First thing, arm should be straight. Arm should be straight. Shoulder, wrist should be aligned. Not be here and not be here. Understand? Wrist, shoulder should be aligned. Second thing, elbow position, try to be a bit inside, not too much outside, a bit inside. Sometimes it's some natural problem, so you have to be avoided. No worry at all. Palm, keep spreading your finger. Why? So that we can equally transfer our body weight in our whole. So, arms is okay. Gap as per the shoulder level. Now, your legs. You can try to keep the feet together, is good. Little gap, it's good. But try your toes to heel should be aligned. Not too much inside and not too much outside. Because once you change the position in and out, it will change the effect in your body. I'm not saying that you trust on me. You do the practice wrong and right, then you will feel the difference, and hold it. Okay, so this is about your feet. Another, the knee. You have to block the knee. Main problem is coming spine and the hip. How? What are the common mistakes? Mistake are here, hip too much up. Mistake are here, sinking the spine. So this all is a wrong position. So how you have to be correct? Leg straight, arm straight, hip not be here. You have to be tuck your belly in and tuck it and just maintain it. Feel this movement. This is hip out, wrong. You have to be tuck your pelvic and you have to maintain. Same thing when I told you when in the standing position, like the tucking the hip. Same thing you have to maintain when you do the plank position. Got it? So this is about the plank. From plank we will come in the Ashtanga Namaskar, the 8-limb posture. 8-limb posture, you have to be curl your toes inside, drop the knees. Same position will be there, elbow inside, not outside, and hip out, drop the chest and the chin and your shoulder, and the fingertips should be aligned. Remember, see my shoulder movement, shoulder not be sinking down. Same thing, you have to be shoulder away from the ear. Feel the difference. Wrong, right, wrong and right. Elbow inside. You have to maintain your wrist, elbow aligned, and elbow to shoulder should be there. Understand? And why we say the 8-limb posture? Because our 8 body part is touching the ground. That's why we say the Ashtanga Namaskar. I think Indians already understand. Ashtanga means 8 and Namaskara means solution. Namaste means your 2 palm, 2 shoulder, your knee, your feet, chest and the chin. Oh, sorry, not the shoulder. Palm, knee, feet, chest and chin. These all are the 8. After we done the Ashtanga Namaskar, we will come in the upward dog, or we can say the one of the variation from the Bhujangasana. So in Bhujangasana, you have to be feet out, hip down, lift up your chest, and once you come, so your chest, you have to be try to push your chest in between your arms, and then open shoulder, look out. Not be here, open shoulder, expand shoulder, look up. Heel, you see my heel. Your heel not be outside, you have to keep your heel inside. When you keep heels inside, so you have to be engage your thigh more. Understand? Because these are the very, very small things. You are just focusing only the arms and your spine, and at the same time you are forgetting your legs. No, we have to be focused each and everything in our body, so that we can bring the right connection and we can feel the right effect and the right benefit in our body. Please take in care. Upward dog also have some modifications. In the modern style, some places, some teachers are teaching, some styles they are teaching. They are even teaching lifting the knee, and they are also trying. So both are fine, only just a little effect is changing. One is a little intense, one is a bit comfortable. Even some places, even they push the hip down also. So all modifications are fine. Once again, pushing the chest, arms straight, and just open shoulder, look up, not missing, lift up. By this technique you can be use your whole spine. From upward dog will come in the downward dog here. Downward dog also one of the very common posture. It needs so much time to explain each and everything, but in a short detail, just understand. Your arm should be straight, leg should be straight, you have to be lock the knee, spine should be straight, and you have to be suck your belly. Head should be in between your both arms, and the shoulder movement not be inside, your shoulder should be in the wider position. One common mistake here, no, you have to be wider the shoulder. Feel wrong, this is right. Got it? So now exact position, arm straight, your head in between your arms, hip should be out, not be sinking. See the movement. Hip out, 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 heel pushing down, head in between your arms, lock the knee. So we will go the same from the another side, from the right leg side. So this side I don't need to be explained much because I already explained. So this is the, we are repeating the same thing from the right leg, whatever the right leg position, the heel position, back leg position, the effect will be where, and then you have to be put the left leg front, same we did already, and then you have to be come back, and then bend back, same, come back, and then namaste. So these some common posture like the Ashanchalan posture, the Pardhastasana, arch back, and then namaste. So this posture we are repeating, so I don't need to be explained again. It's the same way and the same process. So I hope you all understand about all this technique, alignment, modifications. So now I will show you the one round with the breathing. Okay, so this time I will not explain about the technique, alignment. I will just go one time only with the breathing. So you can see me. Just see my movement only. Namaste. Spine straight. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Come back. Exhale. Right leg back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Plank. Exhale. Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale. Upward dog. Exhale. Downward dog. Inhale, right leg in between arms. Exhale. Inhale, left leg front. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhale. So now you understand. So this is the second round. I did all the flow with the breathing, where you have to be inhale, where you have to be exhale. If you practice sun salutation in a one flow, so this is the breathing movement, the breathing technique you can be combined. Or if you want to be hold each and every posture in the sun salutation, so whenever you hold any posture, so that time your breathing should be continuous, any posture. So that is depend on you how long you can be hold, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds each and every posture. So I hope you all understand, you get all the techniques, modifications, alignment, the right way, and the modifications, that is very important. Now you can share this video with your friends and with your family, or if you are a yoga teacher, so please also you practice with this video. If you find some important topic, you also should be write down, because this is the very basic and the traditional style. Once you get all this point, then maybe in the future then I will make the another variation in the sun salutation, and then we can be work more. if somebody is seeking for the weight loss with a sun salutation, so it's my recommendation, you don't have enough time, आपके पास समय नहीं है और आपको लगता है कि आप बहुत ज़्यादा कुछ कर नहीं पाएंगे, तो आप सिर्फ और सिर्फ if you only do the sun salutation, so you can easily get benefit by the sun salutation. आप स्टार्टिंग कीजिए, if you are a beginner, 1 by 1 पोज की प्रैक्टिस कीजिए. You starting initial time you can do 10 times, 11 times, then slowly after day by day with a regular basis you can increase the number of the sun salutation. Because even I got some time feedback, some of my students even they practice only sun salutation and they have a very good result in their body. So I hope you all like this video. If you really like this video and if you have some suggestion, you have some feedback, so please write down under this video. And doing sun salutation, doing the yoga and doing each and everything. Thank you very much guys. Master Praveen, take care. Namaste. Jai Hind.